about the featherweight division. We talked to him. He's like, hey, man, like, who are you impressed with in the featherweight division? Like Holloway, Volkanovski? And he's like,
nobody?
And then he goes out and just dusts the dude in front of him. So Ilia Topuria among many talented fighters under the age of 25 here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Let's get to our next category. Upset of the year.
1, 2, check it. 1, 2, check.
Agapova covered up. Shauna Dobson.
Ooh, there we go.
That is locked in, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Silencing the naysayers yet again.
Who wanna flex, 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 flex?
The upsets keep on coming. That is an incredible result.
We got next, 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 next.
Oh, to have the stones to walk up to the betting window with 5K, DC, and say, you know what? Give me 5K on Shauna Dobson at plus 900 to beat Maria Agapova. A lot of upsets in 2020.
Well, that would have been a very courageous moment to walk up and do that. But I'll see that, and I will raise it. Roxanne Modafferi taking on Macy Barber. Remember, Macy Barber came into the Contender Series. She looked fantastic. Goes up against Roxanne Modafferi. We thought this was going to be a highlight reel for Macy Barber, but Roxanne Modafferi goes out there, puts on the best performance of her career.
I agree. Just to see her, just the way she got that done with the jiu-jitsu, the way she blended in her strikes with the takedowns, it was just something to see.
Let's just ignore the fact that Macy tore her ACL and helps to get the takedowns.
Let's just it happens in a fight.
But the reality is, can I talk? Please.
You may.
Okay, Maria Agapova versus Shannon Dobson. This fight was not supposed to be close. Shannon Dobson went in there as a massive underdog, another stepping stone to raise the profile of Maria, weathered the storm, and then Maria starts to get tired.
Yeah.
And you see the fight just changing, and you're like, oh my goodness, Shannon Dobson is actually gonna get it done.
Before we move along, how about a little love for the men? My upset of the year, Julian Erosa, third UFC stint. He's on his bike in Las Vegas trying to get back in the big show. Fight Sean Woodson, the St. Louis sniper. Big underdog, about plus 500 in some spots. Nobody was giving Juicy J a chance, and Woodson was undefeated, all the rage. So Julian Erosa for me, and Maddie's like, bro.
Matt, you want to answer
Well,
this?
listen,
What's the problem?
with a nickname like Juicy J,
Right.
how could you even, like, that's confidence right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet against a guy with a nickname Juicy J.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Come on.
Matt the Terror Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Juicy J. All right, that's it for the upset of the year. I promised we would not close the book on the best of 2020 without getting to the judges. So to that end, robbery of the year. Robbery of the year.
Look up at the stars. You find me sitting pretty, came a long way from the dark.
Oh, man, wild exchange. Oh, my goodness.
Both guys connecting.
Oh, my goodness.
For the winner by split decision, Andre, Mr. Highlight,
That's ridiculous. That's criminal. I'm stunned.
Never low with the energy to shooting at the stars, 'cause they wish they could be me.
Stop!
So no blow there. Rodriguez didn't think so. I didn't see it. I want to know he was acting, coachy.
Stop!
Controversy coming after this result.
Nice knee.
Oh, man, he's down again.
'Cause they wish they could be me.
All right, I will qualify this segment by saying robbery might be the most overused word in mixed martial arts. That being said, the Massachusetts native Slow Mike Rodriguez got absolutely hosed.
Yeah, listen, when you say robberies, people think when they look at a close fight and the guy that they don't agree won the fight gets it, they call that a robbery. That's not a robbery, that's a close fight. But when Ed Herman fought Mike Rodriguez, he gets hit with the body shot. He goes down to the floor. Rodriguez swarms on Ed Herman, finishes the fight. But no, when the referee steps in, because Ed Herman was holding himself, saying, I've been kneed in the groin, in the crown jewels, and stops the fight, right? That should have been a win for Rodriguez. But Ed Herman gets up and somehow, I mean, fair play to Ed Herman, he finishes the fight with a Kimura. He gets the win. So Mike Rodriguez gets the win stolen away from him and then gets tapped out. I got nothing against you, buddy, but you did not get hit in the balls, and Mike Rodriguez should have won that fight. Matt Serra, what have you got?
I was thinking of Max Holloway losing to Volkanovski. And Alexander Volkanovski fought a tough fight, but I really thought that Max was phenomenal in that fight. And I was there when he came back and he lost. that really felt like a robbery, but it wasn't to the degree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, literally had it stolen by the referee. He literally, like, you know, he's like, look over here, I'm taking your win. What have you got, Dan? Robbery.
So for me, I get it. I feel like in live action, referee can make a mistake. But I think about Andre Ewell versus Jonathan Martinez. First round, very, very competitive. Ewell might have won that round. Second round, Martinez comes out, lands beautiful low leg kicks, really takes over the fight at that point. Ewell doesn't throw anything in the third round. Martinez goes out there and dominates the third round. You feel like, all right, this guy has won the fight, starting a win streak. Now he's 2 in a row. Now he's won 4 in a row.
Right.
Without that fight, this guy would be on a 5-fight win streak right now, if not for a bad decision. That's where I see the problem. To
Bad
give him a
judging.
victory, yes.
The state of MMA judging is such that you can't go get a beer after the fight expecting your guy to get his hand raised. You got to stick around for that decision.
You got to know. You have to know. Nothing's guaranteed when you walk to the middle of the octagon.
Well, speaking of nothing being guaranteed, let us get to some of the epic comebacks that were turned in inside that octagon in 2020.
Comeback of the year.
This is my moment, this is my moment, I gotta go.
Nice knee. Kick for Holloway.
Oh, man, he's down again.
I think I'm losing control, I think I've gone in and low.
Dude was getting beat up, man.
But he made the right adjustment.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my God, overhand left. He switched to southpaw.
I think I've gone in and low.
All right, we saw a lot of fighters rally and come back to win fights they were losing in 2020. So, DC, we'll start with you. Who gets the comeback of the year for 2020?
You know, I do a lot of things that stick fresh in my mind. And watching the comeback, you know, we've seen some great performances, but I watched Chase Hooper in his last fight get beat up for 2 rounds and look lost, trying to get the fight to the ground, not being able to find submissions, not being able to put the guy in position to try to win the fight. And he had one way to win. He had one way. He was not going to win a decision. He was not going to knock him out. He had to submit him. He was able to go in the 3rd round, get the fight to the ground, get a knee bar, ankle lock, and win the fight.
What I enjoyed, and this was a fight, it was a dog fight. Josh Emmett versus Shane Burgos.
Oh.
First of all, a phenomenal fight in its own.
Tremendous.
But Shane Burgos was landing early, landing often, and the way it was going, and I remember predicting the fight, and I'm thinking, oh, this is the way I'm thinking that he's going to be getting him out of this by the 3rd or 4th round. That's the way it was headed. And Josh Emmett said, not up in here. He was not having it. It was amazing what he took, and what he absorbed to, you know, take 1 to give 2 and just get in there and get that W.
And his knee was totally trash.
When he hurt that
Maybe
knee.
the most powerful featherweight of all time. Next level toughness. Certainly a good nominee there, Matty.
But I'm going to throw in Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway too, because in the rematch, you know, as we just spoke about it before, Holloway was clearly ahead.
Yes.
But Volkanovski won the fight, okay? He made some adjustments mid-fight. It was a very, very close fight. And I even said to Volkanovski on the post-fight show, I said, listen, now, as a man, I've got to tell you this. I thought at the time you lost the fight. I was man enough to tell him that. Impressive.
My comeback of the year, I'm kind of surprised DC didn't go in this direction because there's been this meme of me, DC, and Joe that has been repurposed with all these different captions, and the fight that resulted in that reaction from us was Beneil Dariush rallying in March to beat Drakkar Klose. And that is this category in a nutshell, right? We feel like we're calling a Drakkar Klose knockout, and then all of a sudden Benny Dariush knocks him out cold, and the resulting reaction from there. So my comeback of the year for 2020, without question, Kings MMA's Beneil Dariush. All right, fight of the year 2020. Let's get to it.
Best fight of the year.
I'm fearless. Come on down my way.
What a fight.
I'm fearless, Jojo. You can't escape. I'm fearless. Go ahead and make my day.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he stung. Oh, he stung him out.
I'm fearless.
What a moment, what a fight. Certainly one of the best fights of 2020.
We ain't scared of nobody, cause I'm fearless.
Well, there's no denying that recency bias is a factor when we're doing an awards show, but the blood hasn't dried on the canvas from Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno at UFC 256, and for my money, that is the fight of the year in 2020.
Oh, well, listen, certainly a hot contender. Figueiredo, as we know, an absolute animal inside there. Moreno came in, huge underdog, I think, to a lot of people's perspectives. Put on an incredible fight, non-stop action back and forth.
It was crazy, man. You know, but recency bias is real.
It's a thing.
So you got to be very careful because I think back to Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk for me still. I remember us sitting next to the octagon. The crowd was going crazy. These two women fought a fight at such a high level. They're in the ebbs and flows of the fight. Weili starts fast. Joanna works her way back into the fight. Seems like Weili is gassing. She gets her second win, wins the fight. Very, very close competitive fight. And a lot of people thought Joanna won the fight. They were calling for an immediate rematch, just as this last fight was with Figueiredo versus Moreno. My fight of the year, for sure.
I'm going to agree with DC.
See, finally. Finally,
Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I think everybody couldn't believe what they were seeing. The action was non-stop.
For the first time in an hour, he's right.
For 25 minutes, it was insane.
Well, I'm going to think outside the box here, okay? Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. Now, listen, at the time, Tony Ferguson, 12-fight winning streak, total beast, known for taking damage and going forward. Justin Gaethje, known as the highlight. His nickname's the highlight.
Yes.
He's known for doing damage. One's known for taking damage going forward. The other guy goes forward giving damage. Makes for a great fight. And it lived up to the, it lived up. It lived up to the hype.
For me, that was kind of one-way traffic, no disrespect to Tony Ferguson. It doesn't make for the fight of the year. The fight of the year is where the two people, hotly contested, very, very close, tooth and nail, to the last minute. That fight was clearly Justin Gaethje in control the whole time.
I will say, on the Poirier-Hooker front, round 2 of that fight, probably the round of the year. You got to think, with all the hardware that's going to be handed out for fight of the year, most people are going to fall on Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk or the late nominee Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. All right. Fighter of the year. We got men, we got women. We will begin ladies first.
Best female fighter of the year.
Hey, see the time is now. Don't wait around, man. Go get your crown.
Oh, nice wizard kick.
Wow. Oh, knocks the mouthpiece out.
Whoa, see the time is now. Time is now. Time is now.
Oh.
Boom. What's holding you back? If you want it, then you gotta go and get it.
Oh!
Another
Trying to take
takedown.
that. Look at that.
This has been an absolute clinic here.
Oh, big elbow.
Oh, sliced her right open.
Well, big.
Oh, that's it.
What's holding you back? If you want it, then you gotta go and get it, cause the time is now.
This conversation for me begins with champions, and then I work down from there. So Valentina Shevchenko successfully defended her belt twice, also had a surgery in there. She's a victim of her lack of competition, if you want to put it that way. But Amanda Nunes and Zhang Weili defended once. Shevchenko did it twice. So for me, it's sort of a lean towards Valentina Bullet Shevchenko.
She defended it twice, like you said, and she dealt with some adversity in her last fight. She might have lost a round, which everybody's going, ooh, it's a round. But I mean, in how many rounds, you know what I mean? And she came back, made corrections. You know, I mean, she just looks on point, you know? So I'm going with Valentina Shevchenko.
The only one to fight someone that was a former champion in a competitive fight was Zhang Weili. And not only is Zhang Weili so talented, and I know she's a new champion, so her name doesn't draw that fear that Amanda and Valentina does. But I think it's Zhang Weili, because I was on the plane here, and they said, DC, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to Vegas. I got to call the fight this weekend. They go, oh, Zhang Weili's fighting the Chinese girl. She's so dope. Like, she is not only a fantastic fighter, but the interest in her from just the general public is raising now. And she's a star, and she has a star quality about her. In that fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, although it was only one, the level of competition that was shown, the level of success and talent that was shown in that fight warrants her being the fighter of the year for me.
It's hard to argue against that. Valentina Shevchenko, if it wasn't for Amanda Nunes, would be the most dominant pound-for-pound female on the planet. But I don't really feel that you should punish Amanda Nunes simply because she hasn't got the amount of challenges that Shevchenko does. And I don't know whether it's not just because of this image I have in my head of Nunes, but for me, until she retires, she'll always be the female fighter of the year. Now, like a tiny, tiny bit behind is Shevchenko. And I think probably again, and it's not fair to Shevchenko because Nunes has beaten her twice in close fights, and Nunes is the bigger person. But still, I have Amanda Nunes.
And I will say, the Felicia Spencer fight, for me, that was
crawl. Prepare for battle.
I don't send a line, I don't pay for clothes, fuck that. But I'll wait for
This
you.
one, Kaiser, is in the bag.
I don't like to drink, I don't like to think.
This
fuck
one
that.
is in the bag.
Ooh. But I ponder you. Oh, I'm bending it over. You're my four-leaf clover. I'm so in love, so in love. There's no one above, above.
30 seconds to battle.
Forever's a long time, yes. My blue jeans will last me all my life.
Sportsmanship. Stay out of my way and maybe you won't get hurt. But I doubt it.
I'm spending all this time. Oh, met you at the shops. I was getting hot and lonely. I'm in the city on my own. Never would have thought you'd be the one that gotta hold me. That's the way it goes. I'm reaching Nevada.
The first of you.
Goodbye, sweet Rwanda. High school was never
Anyone
for
seen the ugly little
me.
Korean lady riding a big dog lizard?
I said, let it be. Forever's a long time. My blue jeans will last me all
Now my shiv is nice and sharp.
my life.
I'll take that.
So should we?
Nice try.
I'm spending all this time. Oh, you don't even know me. You don't even know me yet. I'm hanging from the tree. I'm hanging from the tree.
Give it here. Get out of here. Lend me a thing?
Toil and trouble takes the lives of two.
Take me down to your paradise. Won't believe until I see the light. Break me out, make me so alive. I'm craving you like I need a high. I'm a desert, you're an ocean. It's your motion that I need. But without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Take me down to your paradise. I lose my words every time I try to make sense of what I lose my mind. You're every wrong that I need tonight. I'm a desert, you're an ocean. It's your motion that I need. But without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Take me down to your paradise. I see heaven when I see your eyes. They pull me in, got me paralyzed. Your body makes me wanna testify. I'm a desert, you're an ocean. It's your motion that I need. But without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Take me down to paradise, paradise. Take me down to paradise, paradise. Take me down to paradise, paradise. Take me down, down, down. Take me down to paradise, paradise. Take me down to paradise, paradise. Take me down to paradise, paradise. Take me down, 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 down. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. But without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat. Without you, I am broken, left to thirst out in the heat.
Fins off.
Through drought and famine, natural disaster, my baby is doing Raindrops are falling, angels we call.
middle tower is under attack.
Be ensnared in fire. This one walks towards the dark. Shade in searing heat.
Your middle tower is under attack.
This is my shout.
Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. All I need.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Every time I get a bit inside, I feel it. Who would have thought I'd get you?
Missing top.
Oh yes, oh yeah, baby. Who would have thought I'd get you?
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'll take some time
Here's support. Alright. I'll take that.
that I had been of you. Before
Radiant structures are
we wind
fortified.
down into the memories. It's all just memories. Don't you love when I come around? Fill you up, then I take you down. Don't you love when I come around? Fill you up, then I take.
Broken my mouse.
Missing top.
Who would have thought I'd get you? Oh yes,
Hey, sport.
baby.
Dark reef rising.
Who would have thought I'd get you?
Your bottom tower is under attack. Hold on your hats. Your bottom tower is under attack.
This song is
I hate to nag, but watch out.
I stand in line. I can't kill me, motherfucker. I got fuck that, yeah. But I wait for you. I don't like to drink. I don't like to drink. Fuck that. But
Here's support. Alright.
A story written in
I'm
blood.
bending it over. My body's over. I'm so in love.
Scurry, bro. Scurry.
No one
Scurry to the fucking tree. Into the tree.
Lawrence want the
Your
dead.
middle tower is under attack.
Forever's a long time. Yeah.
is under attack. You may want to take care of that. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
That's the real one. Those are fake.
I'll take that.
Your middle tower has been denied.
Shiny!
Be ensnared in fire.
Here.
Axe beat you like a sled.
Fucking
Tower is under attack.
Walks towards the dark. This one walks towards the dark.
Your top tower is under attack.
Give it here.
Your top tower is under attack.
Will last me all my life.
Double
Your
damage.
bottom tower is under attack.
Oh yes.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I'm spending all this time.
Oh, this is going swimmingly.
You don't even know. You
tower is under attack.
I need something to sing about. Rock and roll, don't you know, baby, we're all alone now. Need something to sing about. Rock and roll, don't you know, baby, we're all alone now. Give me something to sing about. Compared to a quiet evening alone, just the one, two. Our bus is coming on.
Your top tower is
Regeneration.
Nevertheless, you say you can't take a beating.
I'll take that.
Your top tower is under attack.
I'll be out of this mess in no time.
Lately I've been thinking everyone around me is insane.
Dire structures are fortified.
Marching single file 'cause they're thinking that it's the only
Not
way.
yet.
Around here, it doesn't have to be too much.
But I'm never gonna fall in line, never gonna live in colorblind, living in between all the black and white. Oh. Lately I've been thinking that there's something wrong.
Your
inside
middle
my
tower is
brain.
under attack.
I just feel so strange, strange. I'm out of my mind most of the time, and I just feel so strange, strange. The harder I try to recognize life, it feels so. Sometimes I can't tell between the highs when I'm
that's
lost in the love. Everything is fine. I'm standing outside like a renegade when everybody's here in this masquerade. Their eyes come through like a razor blade. Oh. Sometimes I can't tell if they are better with the devil they know. Maybe I'm just
Middle tower is under attack.
You died out of it, didn't you?
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm losing grip on everything I used to know. Strange, strange. I'm out of my mind. Am I the only one that feels this way? I keep on running, but I can't escape. Am I the only one that feels this way? 'Cause I feel this way. 'Cause I feel this way. Am I the only one that feels this way?
Your
I keep
bottom
on
tower
running,
has
but I
fallen.
can't escape. Am I the only one that feels this way? 'Cause I feel this way. 'Cause I feel
Your
this
bottom
way.
tower is under attack.
I just feel so strange. Strange. I'm out of my mind most of the time. I just feel so strange. Strange.
Now my shimmies nice and sharp.
I'm losing grip on everything I used to know. Strange, strange. I'm out of my mind most of the time, and I just feel so strange, strange.
attack.
It's time to break out, so everybody just scream out. I'm the only
Your
one.
top tower is under attack.
I'm the only one. No change won't make me break down. And I can finally see now. I'm the only one.
I'll take
Middle
that.
tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack.
Oh, good for them.
This way.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Dire structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack.
I'll take that.
When the dust is settled down,
Your middle tower is under attack.
you'll be all alone.
I hate to nag, but watch out!
Everyone is singing out loud. It's time to break out, so everybody just scream out. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. No change won't make me break down. And I can finally see now. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. No change won't hold me down.
Double damage. Gotcha. I'm not ready.
Is under attack. Oh my.
You're lucky Axe didn't use rock.
All this doubt is creeping in, inside out, shed my skin. Can you hear the drumming? Let the revolution come in. I've been waiting all my life to live when I've only been dreaming. Get love when I've only been stealing. Can't let time keep passing me by. Run down what I've always been chasing. Block out every fear I've been facing. All my moves begin to hide.
argue that was 5-10-8.
Yeah,
so even
yeah,
though she didn't get the
crushed her,
finish,
man.
she was waiting for an opening.
It was never close, though. And it was never, and you could tell right away that it was just, it wasn't going to be competitive.
Yeah,
but
no, you're
when
right.
you watch these fights, you saw Ioane and Zhang Weili, they're moving, and it's like they're on fast forward the whole time. And the skill level was so high.
Because nobody else, I don't think, on the planet would have beaten Yon JJ that night.
No.
You know what I mean? She
would've beat
came
them all.
into that fight sensational. You're right, Daniel. No, okay, you get this one, champ.
If you think Women's Fighter of the Year was contentious, just wait till we get to the guys' 2020 Male UFC Fighter of the Year.
Best Male Fighter of the Year.
Good. Oh, my goodness.
Khabib Nurmagomedov! The eagle rises again! Unbelievable.
This guy's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, unquestioned.
All right, well, if you thought Female Fighter of the Year was contentious, just wait till this discussion on the guys. DC, I would like to begin with you in the division that you once ruled, and Jan Blachowicz. He became the UFC light heavyweight champion, dusted Dominic Reyes, and that came after he went into New Mexico and knocked Corey Anderson out of the UFC. So for me, I'm surprised Polish Power is not getting more love when it comes to the Fighter of the Year conversation.
Yeah, Jan Blachowicz had a fantastic year, and like you said, you know, it's your criteria. I think it starts with, it's a champion, right? I've never seen a guy that isn't a champion be Fighter of the Year.
Right.
I know Kevin Holland's been sensational, but for me, it's Deiveson Figueiredo. I think what Deiveson Figueiredo has done, even though he had the draw, the last pay-per-view, for him to beat Joseph Benavidez, not get the title because of him not making the weight, then demolish Joseph Benavidez on Fight Island to get the title, come back and submit Alex Perez in the first round, turn around 3 weeks later and fight Brandon Moreno to a 5-round thriller, which, guys, reality is, without the low blow in the point deduction, he would have won and retained his title. I know he kicked him low, I get it.
Shoulda.
But the guy, no,
Woulda.
but listen, no, I'm just saying,
Coulda.
this is a champion that
was
we
a
saw
draw.
fight
It was a draw.
4 times.
It was a
four
draw.
times in the calendar year. Deiveson Figueiredo, for me, nobody's more active. Nobody has made themselves so viable and so important to a division in 1 year.
Agreed. I hear you loud and clear, but still, his last fight was a draw. And I think that takes him out of running for Fighter of the Year. How can it be a fight? Because by that logic, Brandon Moreno is also equal for Fighter of the Year.
But he wasn't in 4 title
Israel
fights.
Adesanya, after destroying Robert Whittaker at the end of last year, comes into this year, takes on Yoel Romero and Paulo Costa, two of the scariest guys in the middleweight division. And the fight with Romero, okay, it was lackluster, a fight that you don't necessarily want to see.
Some people thought he won the fight, though.
But still, that's because Romero was so terrified of the guy. And then when he fought Costa, again, similar thing, because he's so good, he's so fast, his footwork is so magnificent, and his speed is next level. So people don't want to go in. They don't want to engage with the guy because he's just that bloody good. And I think when you see him beating all these guys, he's almost cleared out the division. He's calling out John Jones. He's going up and fighting Jan Blachowicz. How can this guy not be Fighter of the Year? He's taking over the UFC landscape, becoming the next biggest star after Conor McGregor. I say he's the Fighter of the Year.
Gilbert Durinho Burns is going to get some consideration, but DC, he's a non-champion. Khabib Nurmagomedov, 1-0, but I don't think you can have this conversation, Matt, without mentioning his name. Who did you land on for your Male Fighter of the Year?
I like Israel Adesanya.
Okay, all right.
That's who I'm going with. Again, he's just being a dominant champion. I mean, you look at his performances and, you know, he's talking the talk, he's walking the walk. You look at the experience he has coming over from the kickboxing. He's a guy that's, he's covering all the bases, man.
Again, as we said, there's no right or wrong. They're all magnificent in their own right.
I want to talk about the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world right now. As we close 2020, who is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? Pound-for-pound fighter of the year.
Can anyone stop me? No. Why? I'm king of the jungle. Jungle. I'm king of the jungle.
Big right. Cormier goes down.
Oh, good right hand. Big right hand.
Can anyone stop me? I'm king of the jungle.
Unbelievable.
I got the heart and the muscle. Muscle. I'm king of the jungle.
Daniel, it's interesting when we talk about the pound-for-pound best in the world. This is not a conversation about the greatest of all time, but I think based upon the body of work for Khabib Nurmagomedov, the manner in which he is disposing of these interim champions, finishing guys 29-0, with respect to Kamaru Usman, John Jones, and everybody else, I don't know how you don't lead the pound-for-pound chat with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, you know, all these guys are fantastic fighters. You know, level of competition is very important. You know, that's why when I watch Miocic up there, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but, you know, he should be in the top 5 for sure. Usman. Jones is still up there. But the reality is, when you look at him pound for pound, and you look at John Jones today opposed to what he was a few years ago, he's not the same guy, right? And as he seems to be leveling off, Khabib Nurmagomedov is still skyrocketing. And I think that pound for pound, Khabib is the guy. I think that he's as successful at 155. I think he could do just as well as 170. And I believe that's what pound for pound boils down to, a skill set that can go across weight classes. I believe Khabib has that.
If you look at John Jones, of course, he's the first name that people think of. Look at the one fight he had this year against Dominic Reyes, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people thought he lost that fight, so I think it's instantly that eradicates him from the conversation. Kamaru Usman only fought one time, yes, great win over a great opponent like Masvidal, but again, it's not him. Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? What he did against the opponent, Justin Gaethje. I said earlier, I thought the matchup was going to be bad for Khabib, right? But he went out there. You see that? I'm learning off Josh. Khabibi, right? He went out there and made Justin Gaethje look very ordinary, made him look very average. That finishing sequence, the way he took him down, turned the corner, took the back, and then to the triangle, it was insane. And then to find out it was kind of a sympathy submission because he didn't want to hurt him in front of his parents. I mean, how can you say that Khabib is not the best on the planet right now?
You think about Khabib, and you think about the caliber of the guys he's fighting, and you talk about Justin Gaethje, and you talk about the performance he just came off of. He made him look like a white belt down there. And to have the confidence to go for an arm lock when you're mounted, and there's time running down, you could land some big blows. There's a big chance you could lose position. And then he gets mounted, then he gets there again after taking a couple of kicks the next round, and he goes for a submission again, which he ends up finishing the fight with a mounted triangle, which is not an easy thing to do. Yeah. And to do it to a guy that's you're not supposed to be even holding down is just phenomenal. Certainly. That's why I gotta just say Khabib is just on another level.
And I think any superlative conversation like this should include Israel Adesanya.
Absolutely.
But again, John Jones was putting people away for a long time. He's got double-digit decision wins in the UFC now.
When you look at John Jones, you can't argue about the body of work, but we're talking about this year. This year, to everybody's point, he only beat Dominic Reyes, and he was close.
Well, the UFC schedule, Michael, it's just such a breakneck pace that oftentimes it doesn't give us a lot of time for reflection, so I'm kind of glad that we have this annual exercise. But that being said, to quote Bill Belichick, it's on to 2021. Let's get to some dream matchups and look ahead.
UFC in 2021.
All right, let's get some predictions as we look ahead to 2021. I want to know what you guys think in terms of championship belts that are most likely to change hands. Jan Blachowicz is a guy who criminally underappreciated. A lot of people think that there are plenty of people who could beat him, Adesanya or somebody else. What do you think?
I feel
the guy who
the belt that would be changing hands is the bantamweight belt.
I mean, this guy.
I have to go with. I'm high on Aljo Sterling.
But you like him there.
I do. I think Aljamain
that's gonna
matches
happen.
up well against Petr Yan. I do.
I feel it's a great matchup.
I'm a bad person, you don't like me. Well, I guess I'll make my own way. It's a circle, I mean cycle. I is your new best friend. Ignorance is your new best friend. And this is the best thing that could have happened. Any longer and I wouldn't have made it. It's not a war, no, it's not a rapture. I'm just a person, but you can't take it. The same tricks that once fooled me, they won't get you anywhere. I'm not the same kid from your memory. Well, now I can fend for myself. Don't wanna hear your sad song, I want a bigger pain. When it's all, it's not my fault, 'cause you know we're not the same. We're not the same. Oh, we're not the same. Yeah, we used to stick together. We wrote our names in blood. But I guess you can't accept that change is good. It's good. It's good. Will you treat me just like another stranger? Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out. You treat me just like another stranger. Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out. Ignorance is your new best friend. Ignorance is your new
Commit this to memory.
Ignorance is your new best friend. Ignorance is your new best friend. Will you treat me just like another stranger? Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I guess be on my way out. You treat me just like another stranger. Well, it's nice to meet you, so I guess I'll go. I best be on my way out.
Tongue-tied, dreams die, we all lose our way. We have fears, shed tears, and we carry our mistakes. It's funny when you're down and out, they don't come around, they don't come around. Oh, it's funny when you're down and out, they don't make a sound. I've been working my hands down to the bone. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Lovers and friends come and they go. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Where you gonna be when the money run low? I've been high, the good life is good until it fades. But when you come down, the cold ground's gonna put you in your place. Gotta count my blessings, try to pay it forward. Somehow, always end up going back. Always learning everything the hard way. I've been working my hands down to the bone. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Lovers and friends come and they go. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Where you gonna be when the money run low? Where you gonna be when the money run low? I've been working my hands down to the bone. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Lovers and friends come and they go. Where you gonna be when the money run low? I've been working my hands down to the bone. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Lovers and friends come and they go. Where you gonna be when the money run low? Where you gonna be when the money run low? bottle, sunshine, my battle lines going to war again. Feeling the rhythm inside of my chest, all I need is just I was born for this. I know I was born for this. Scared of the critics, my words are not position for us that they can't stop. They just don't get it, I think they forget I'm not done till I'm on top. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write our story. I believe we can be an army. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark a flame. Watch as the fire rages, our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this.
Giant structures are fortified.
I never give in to my favorite thing cause I heard my voice inside. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I will never lose my voice.
You're not going anywhere.
It's all the same to me.
I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write a story. I believe we can be an army. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark the flame. Watch as the fire rages, our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. For someone like me to know you're not alone. The moves that you make, you that come up mistakes. Don't ever lose your hope. Just know you were born for this. Just know you were born for this. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark the flame. Watch as the fire rages, our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
We were born for this. We were born for this.
Profitable engagement.
I think we have an emergency. I think we have an emergency. If you thought I'd leave, then you were wrong. 'Cause I won't stop holding on. So are you listening? So are you watching me? If you thought I'd leave, then you were wrong. 'Cause I won't stop holding on. This is an emergency. So are you listening? And I can't pretend that I don't see this. It's really not your fault that no one cares to talk about it. Talk about it. 'Cause I've seen love die way too many times when it deserved to be alive. When it deserved to be alive. And I've seen you cry way too many times when you deserve to
Demised.
Could describe the dullest knife just sawing back and forth and ripping through the softest skin. The rebel was how we
middle tower is under attack.
Oh, how were you to know? And I hate to see your heart. I hate to see your eyes get darker as they close, but I've been there before. And I hate to see your heart break. I hate to see your eyes get darker as they close, but I've been there before.
Radiant's courier has been
Happens all the time. People who are kind and heroes who are blind, expecting perfect scripted movie scenes. Once an awkward silent mystery. How
has fallen.
Oh, how are you to know? And I hate to see your heart break. I hate to see your eyes get darker as they close, but I've been there before. And
That I'm losing my mind, trying to find the perfect line. I think I'm running out of time. I need a miracle, a miracle. Yeah, I'm losing my mind, counting seconds passing by, and I don't know when I'll be fine. I need a miracle, a miracle. It's not just a show, I need you to know. I'm trying to keep it real, sometimes it's complicated. There's gotta be
Your middle tower is under attack.
It's hard to be yourself when all you feel is shame. Success is a door that always slams. I'm trying to break it, I'm trying to break it. Searching for words and praying for signs. I struggle to find the rhythm and rhyme. Don't know how to say it, don't know how to say that I'm losing my mind, trying to find the perfect line. I think I'm running out of time. I need a miracle, a miracle. Yeah, I'm losing my mind, counting seconds passing by. Shit never goes the way that you planned. Success is a door that always slams. I'm trying to break it, I'm trying to break it. Searching for words and praying for signs. I struggle to find the rhythm and rhyme. Don't know how to say it, don't know how to say it.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
From the grave.
I got your picture coming with you, dear Maria, come in. This is
Your bottom tower is under attack.
bottom of this
The enemy's middle tower is well.
When the lights go up, I wanna watch the way you take the stage by storm. The way you wrap those boys around your finger. Go on and play the leader, 'cause you know it's what you're good at. The low road for the fast shot, make every second right.
rich tradition. The great mystery.
Dire structures are fortified.
I can't think of nothing makes me want to die.
The enemy's clock tower has fallen.
And I can't think about what makes me cry.
Flashlight! Lava goes slower!
I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. I try to keep going, but it's not that simple. Think I'm a little bit caught in the middle. I gotta keep going, or they'll call me a quitter. Yeah, I'm caught in the
Yeah, we're Panic at the Disco. We just want to play a few songs for you guys, if you don't mind. First one we want to play is actually from our new record, Vices and Virtues. The song is called The Ballad of Mona Lisa, and it goes like this.
I hate to die, but watch out!
Paints your fingers with the close precision. Starts to know something takes a moment to assess the situation. On the speaker in a conversation, the words are swimming through his ears again. There's nothing wrong with just a taste of what you paid for. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Whoa, Mona Lisa, you're guaranteed to run this town. Whoa, Mona Lisa, I pray to see you found.
Gold for me.
Senses something, call it desperation. Another dollar, another day. And if she had the proper words to say, she would tell them, but she'd have nothing left to sell them. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Mona Lisa, guaranteed to run this town. Whoa, Mona Lisa, I'm paid to see you frown.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. You're awesome!
Please to please God. Mona Lisa, let me out. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We're gonna do lying. We're gonna do lying right now. All right, sure. Let's do it. This song is, it's about sex. It's her favorite, so here you go. It goes like
Your
this.
muffs for you.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Is it still me that makes you sweat? Am I who you think about in bed when the lights are dim? Your hands are shaking as you're sliding off your dress. Think of what you did. Lights are dim. Your heart is racing as your fingers touch your lip. Better kiss, better touch, better face. All you'll ever meet, sweet. You had me. I was able to pass a sweat. Better love deserving of exchanging body heat in the passenger seat. Oh no, no, you know it will always just be me. Let's get these teen hearts beating faster. So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold the lover close? Testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold the lover close? So I guess we're back to us. Cameraman, swing the focus. In case I lost my train of thought. Where was it that we lost last time? Just getting to the part where the shock sets in and stomach acid fires the way to make you sick. I hope you didn't expect to get all of the attention. Let's not get selfish. Did you really think I'd let you kill this chorus? Let's get these teen hearts beating faster. So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold the lover close? Testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold? Dance to this beat. Dance to this beat. Dance to this beat. Let's get these teen hearts beating faster, faster. Let's get these teen hearts beating faster. Got more wit, better kiss, hotter touch, better any boy you'll ever meet, sweet. You had me. I was hypnotized past the sweat. Never love deserving of exchanging body heat in the passenger seat. Oh no, no, you know it will always just be me. So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold the lover close? Testosterone boys and Harlequin girls, will you dance to this beat and hold? So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls. So testosterone boys and Harlequin girls.
Your middle tower has fallen.
Hold the lover close. This song's called Irate Sins Not Tragedies. It goes like this. Oh, well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in the church corridor, and I can't help but to hear, no, I can't help but to hear an exchanging of words. What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says the bridesmaids. Oh yes, but what a shame the courtroom's bride is a whore. I chimed in with a habit you people ever heard of, closing the goddamn door. No, it's much better to face these kinds of things. There's a rationality. In fact, we'll all look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. This calls for a toast, so pour the champagne. Well, in fact, we'll all look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. This calls for a toast, so pour the champagne, pour the champagne.
Trust me!
I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of? Closing the goddamn door, no, It's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chimed in. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No, it's better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No, it's better to face these kinds of things with sense of poison rationality. I chimed in. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No, it's better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. Well, I said, haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door?
Goose walk.
Yeah, let's play 9. Yeah, we'll play 9 in the afternoon. This song is for our last record too. Back to the street where we began, feeling as good as lovers can, you know. Yeah, we're feeling so good, picking up things we shouldn't read. It looks like the end of history, as we know. It's just the end of the world. Back to the street where we began, feeling as good as long you could, you can. Into a place where thoughts can bloom, into a room where it's light in the afternoon. And we know that it could be, and we know that it should, and you know that you feel it too, 'cause it's light in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon. You're good 'cause you can, so you too. We're feeling so good, just the way that we do when it's light in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon. You're good 'cause you can, so you do. And we're feeling so good. Back to the street, down to our feet, losing the feeling of feeling unique. Do you know what I mean? Back to the place where we used to say, man, it feels good to feel this way. Now I know what I mean. Back to the street, back to the place, back to the room where it all began. Back to the room where it all began. 'Cause it's light in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon. You're good 'cause you can, so you do. We're feeling so good, just the way that we do when it's light in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon. You're good 'cause you can, so you do. We're feeling so good, just the way that we do when it's light in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon. You're good 'cause you can, so you do. We're feeling so good, just the way that we do when it's light in the afternoon. Thank you.
The enemy's bottom
Feel the salty waves coming in, flash against my skin, and I smile. Maybe if I continue watching, I'll lose the traits that run me. Fast forward to go down on me. Stop there and let me correct it. I wanna live a life from a new perspective. You come along because I love your face, and I'll admire your expensive taste. And who cares, divine intervention? I wanna be praised from a new perspective. But leaving now would be a good idea. So catch me up, I'm getting out of here. Taking everything for granted, but we still respect the time. We move along with some new passion, knowing everything is fine. And I would wait and watch the hours fall in 100 separate lines. But I regain repose and wonder how I ended up inside. Can we fast forward till you go down on me? Stop there and let me correct it. I wanna live a life from a new perspective. You come along because I love your face, and I'll admire your expensive taste. And who cares, divine intervention? I wanna be praised from a new perspective. But leaving now would be a good idea. So catch me up, I'm getting out of here. Catch me up, I'm getting out of here. More to the point, I need to show how much I can come and go. Other plans fell through, put a heavy load on you. I know there's no more that need be said. When I'm inching through your bed, take a look around instead and watch me go. I wanna live a life from a new perspective. You come along because I love your face, and I'll admire your expensive life. Not fair is not me perfected. Don't wanna live a life that is comprehensive. Do you think it would be a bad idea? Now catch me up, I'm getting out of here. Catch me up, I'm getting out of here.
My enemies close, and their corpses close.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. That's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know.
And I feel Aljo is hungry.
You want my pick?
Yeah.
Gilbert Burns takes
Bro,
the belt
I'm telling
of
you,
Kamaru
hey,
Usman.
I love Kamaru Usman. It's hard for me to say that.
I love Kamaru.
I
He's
know,
awesome.
we all do. If you're in the know and you've watched Gilbert Burns compete.
Look at Gilbert against Tyron Woodley.
Yes.
Look at what he did to him. Look at him, the way he knocked out Damian Maia.
Yes, but Usman played a nice part in that, giving the game plan as to how to fight Woodley. he went out there and may have done the game plan even better.
You know who knocks people out and take their heads off? Is Masvidal.
Yeah.
And look how Kamaru Usman handled him.
That's the thing. Gilbert Burns is a grappler. And his striking is why he seems so dangerous now. The dude's skills have rounded out, and it makes him a tough out for anybody.
Well, 2020 gave us so much to unpack, and we're
seems so dangerous now. The dude's skills have rounded out, and it makes him a tough out for anybody.
Well, 2020 gave us so much to unpack, and we're excited to be in a new climate in 2021. Daniel Cormier, Matt Serra, Michael Bisping, thanks for indulging everybody. Happy New Year, and maybe we'll run it back next year.
Maybe.
I'm making a prediction. We'll be back next year. That's my prediction.
Fingers crossed.
All right,
Let's do it all in.
For the UFC Best of 2020. I'm John Annis saying so long from Vegas. Thank you all for watching.
This episode is sponsored by Raycon. More on that at the end. Realistic glows around the edges of the illuminated crescent shapes of these planets. I like that alternate reality humanity was allowed to try to stave off destruction with some renewable energy with some nuclear plants, but based on the windmills being in the piles of garbage, I'm guessing it was a tad too late.
Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there.
This opening. Put on your Sunday clothes from Hello Dolly. A very early 20th century song about looking beyond one city but starting us in space. Not even sure where our galaxy is at first. Two things couldn't be further apart, and yet it creates this awe and immediately connects us to our home, Earth, which is excellent because we're about to see that it's become unrecognizable at the very least satellite-wise. But then the happy-go-lucky feeling fades away as it gets to the ground. It's diegetic, so Wally is still bopping along, but our top-down POV is shifted to the stark truth. And even if Wally doesn't know it yet, getting a little electro peck from Eve becomes a main goal for him. Hey, his track is already beat up. Oh my goodness, the shallow focus trying to follow the cockroach. I highly recommend watching this movie with subtitles on if you never have. I always had the feeling it was something like a grunt of acknowledgement, but adds even more relatable humanity to Wally, and once you see what he and Eve are saying, you really start to hear it as well. And after our upbeat show tune that was incongruous with the visuals, but aligned with our main character's disposition, Thomas Newman's score brings us down to reality with the slightly dissonant guitar picking that finally sets the stage for what's going on here. Show tunes are gone because humans are gone. What a freaking opening to a Pixar movie! Andrew Stanton claims he has no message in here. I mean, who could have predicted our own B&L taking over everything? Well, by and large. It's not like they're the government. Yet. So, why is Wally still alive? Well, there's your answer. He's been repairing himself with other units' parts. We also have to assume that through some glitch he achieves sentience, which is why he cares enough to repair himself.
With our all-access hover chairs, even Grandma can join the fun. There's no need to walk.
Huh, so that's how it starts. Sorry, Grandma, we might need to leave you behind to prevent this eventuality.
Because at B&L, space is the final frontier.
Yes, you give me Fred Willard and he gives me puns. Show of hands, how many times watching this did it take for you to catch what Wally stood for? Because it took me actually looking for stuff and writing this to notice. Oof, so Rex is just trapped there for eternity with no humans to play with him? Also Mike with nobody to do stand-up for? And clocks and hula bobblers, Lady Liberty torches and David the Gnome? Every bit of misused human artifacts is perfect. Basketball globe, trash can lid, hat, spork, confusion, toaster VHS storage? And the nesting dolls are with the bowling pins. Just when he thought he had a lot of stuff before. And a Dino Collider. Also, if you were wondering how Wally runs everything, probably has something to do with all those batteries. Now might be a good time to point out how absolutely gorgeous this film is. The scuff marks and worn paint on every part of Wally's metal body, the way the glass of his eyes bends the image, the way the light bounces off the scrapes on the tips of his fingers, claws, clamps. It's been said before, but there's so little dialogue in this opening, and we still get a full picture of who Wally is. Mindless robots don't notice the stars above them and then turn on music to set the mood for themselves, questioning what's beyond their trash heap. Nor do they gently rock themselves to sleep. When in doubt, make your robot drunk / hungover, it'll always kill.
I'm a PC.
I pass no judgment on a potentially centuries-old battery that goes from 3 to 0 bars overnight, even though, if I had to guess, I'd say Wally leaving his music playing all night probably had something to do with it, but either way, there's continuity with it since he has 4 bars when we first see him, and then 3 bars before bed, and then back to 9 after a full charge. It just doesn't get any better than Wally's reaction to mundane things. And there's your first Jude win. Gets a laugh from him every time. Space thruster shadowing that Sandra can't compete with. And now for an action scene. And if you always thought it was a weird cheat to have the red laser running all over the place and not just at the center of the circle of dots to begin with, the ship was looking for a landing zone that was flat enough to land on. That's why it scans in this spiral. About as convincing as a cardboard box. And you thought Wally was the only Apple product. While you're enjoying the most romantic piece of music ever written for 2 robots, take a little notice of the light ring circling Eve's neck. I mean, really, you can hear it so clearly once the subtitles are on. While we're talking about pretty sounds, Eve's sound design compared to Wally's is another contrast between the two. Everything about Eve is smooth, rounded, and shiny, while Wally is rough, boxy, and disheveled. His sound design is always retro compared to hers. She's a top-of-the-line, newly released smartphone, and he's a rotary phone. Or like 2 cans in a string, maybe. also she has a tad more firepower than Wally. Also, another robot that has so much personality with not many words. Generosity? He used a Luxo lamp for an arm. I'll say that robot protagonists keep the Wile E. Coyote laws of nature making sense. Never any life in the Pizza Planet truck. So even prior to leaving Earth, it looks like they were doing passenger flights to space and then passengers floated back to Earth in capsules? Fun fact, Eve only gets stuck to the magnet because her power source powers up the magnet. There's a perpetual energy meme in there somewhere. But just like with the bulb, she's an energy source just by proximity. The crew wasn't 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure her last foreign language before English is Huttese. Listen to that and tell me it's not. Doesn't get any better than that.
Wally.
Never mind. While I chuckle at Eve breaking Wally's stuff, I can't help but notice how every light, every little detail is reflected in her outer shell. And you more clearly see the servo in her arm, always moving around, and frame by frame later, you can see the same in her head. Also dancing. The moment we learn that those Wile E. Coyote laws of nature don't always protect Wally, which makes it Eve's gut.
5 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Your turn to pick.
Gotta fix Wally at risk losing him shadowing. You could say his love for her burns bright? Flirting? Based on that response, I'd say even Eve didn't know what her directive was, which is why she just said classified. And Wally does the only thing he knows works for him, a little vitamin D. These heat waves coming off the top of the truck, such a cool effect that I wish was less topical. And a Wally taking care of a comatose Eve montage is the fastest way to absolutely crush it, Pong. Even the way each action scene is shot is unique and entertaining. So, do we need to file this under unnecessary risks taken by Wally due to his unimpeded devotion to realism? Or actually, is it Wally plus hanging on exterior of high-speed moving vehicle equals win? How about both? So it's only B&L and Russia left in the space race? Or is that just an old Sputnik? Nothing can shake that little boy's love. It's just another romantic night of taking in the stars with Eva. So that's why a Dyson Sphere would work so well. This silly robot cartoon has no business being this stunning. Wait, is Lindsay's book a sequel to Wall-E? JK. But a Cinema Wins Word of the Week will actually shed some light on why the ship name ties into the story. You get it? No escape. Even this ship has a name, and it's Arv. Mo feels like a good time to say that Ben Burt, you know, the guy who made R2-D2 sound the way he does, is amazing and created thousands of sounds for this movie. I love that even Wally knows he's dirty. Other than making his tracks last longer, he also takes them off before going into his home to keep the dirt out. Again, 1/3 of the way through this movie, and the only real human voices we've heard have been pre-recordings, and we get another character whose deal we know immediately. He likes things clean. Affleck?
It's in the bag.
The next label play. The next label play. The next label play. The next label play.
Excellent idea.
The next label play. The next label play.
Seconds to battle. Let's all remember to have fun.
First blood. What a test show. No. You just ran into my spear!
Dire's courier has been killed. I'll take that. Missing top. I think I'll flex a bit. Dire's courier has been killed.
Gold for me.
Listen, your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
You will be forgotten tomorrow.
The sun walks towards the dark.
Oh, there are none so stabbed as this. Stealth makes health.
A bit more power, a lot more curious.
What the f...
Meat torn from blood and bone.
Radiant structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack. Arcanery. Dire structures are fortified.
Fuck you clean.
I'm under attack. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
One thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life.
That's life.
I tell you, I can't deny it. I thought thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. That's life. And I can't deny it. Many times I thought of cutting out, but my heart won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this here July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die.
Excellent idea.
Your middle tower is under attack. To bag. Your middle tower is under attack.
The big, big thing, the reason I'm
So if we take a walk down the beach tonight, I bet that we could light up the sky. The big, big bang, the reason I'm alive. When all the stars collide in this universe inside. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. Give me the bang. Take it from me, I don't wanna be mummified. Sometimes I feel so isolated, I wanna die. And I'll take it from you if you got it every time. So baby, bring your body here next to mine. Next to mine. I don't wanna dream. I just wanna live. So baby, let's not miss this thing. The big, big bang. The reason I'm alive. When all the stars collide in this universe inside. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. Hit the big, big, big bang. Oh, bang.
Next level play. Next level play.
Your top tower is under attack.
Unchained from life.
I'm a saint and I'm a sinner. I'm a loser and a winner. Without faith and a believer, I am true and a deceiver. I'm a hero and a villain. I'm a myth and I'm a legend. Without strength and a contender, I am real and a pretender. Take me as I am or don't, 'cause I don't give a damn, no. Take me as I am or don't, 'cause I don't give a damn, no. I have my own flaws, I make me a mistake, but I'm not myself, I'm not ashamed. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I have my own style, I lose my own strength, sometimes I fall, but I don't break. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I'm a poet and a soldier. I am young, growing older. Without hope, but I'm a dreamer. I'm the cure and I'm the fever. I am lost with the direction. I am failed in perfection. Without grace, but I am tired of walking like give a damn, no. Take me as I am, I don't. 'Cause I don't give a damn, no. I have my own flaws, but I'm not myself, I'm not ashamed. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I have my own style, sometimes I fall, but I don't break. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I don't wanna be someone else. I don't ever wanna lose this hope.
tower is under attack.
There's a moment
Go for the
when
regeneration.
the fire takes over.
Your top tower is under
Blood is
attack.
running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now. Cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go.
Uses an exquisite tongue. They should have that when they have it.
Give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. 'Cause we're unstoppable.
Structures are fortified.
We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. Every spotlight, every soundbite, everybody who gave up is just a fuel for anybody against us. They can say what they want now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
'Cause we'll be screaming now, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible, 'cause we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
Haste.
They can say what they want now. 'Cause we'll be screaming out. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
How peculiar.
You don't know, babe, when you hold me and kiss me slowly.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
today. Not gonna cave, not gonna break. Under the pressure, under the pressure. Under the pressure, under the pressure. Pressure, pressure calls my name. I think it's time that I should push it back and entertain it. Forever, ever like a game. Stacked up the cards against me. Now I think my luck is changing. Time is a key, but the devil just keeps on knocking.
Contract complete.
Fear with a smile, but I'll be the last one laughing. Try to take me down, no, it ain't never gonna happen. Oh, oh. Under the pressure, under the pressure. Under the pressure, under the pressure.
Bounty.
No, not today. Not gonna make
Shenanigans.
no, not today.
Your top tower is under attack.
Not gonna break. No, not today. Not gonna make the same mistakes. No, not today.
Your top tower is under attack.
Not gonna cave, not gonna break.
Your top tower has fallen.
Under the pressure.
Shellacking there, eh?
Under the pressure. Under the pressure.
Dire structures are fortified. Bottom tower has fallen. How do you like it? Structures are fortified.
Such a story wonders.
You are to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I will sail across the world, row this boat from dusk till dawn. Nobody is calling me. There ain't no sunshine, no sunshine where I was before. But I found the love, the warmth in your arms. Won't you come?
I didn't think your sorcery could keep you aloft.
Curse at the wind. He broke his own heart, and I watched as he tried to read a simple.
Structures are
and my mama swore that she would never let herself forget. And that was the day that I promised I'd never sing of love if it does not exist. Darling, you are the only exception.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Johnny! The only exception.
The enemy's middle barracks have fallen. The enemy's middle barracks have fallen.
You are the only exception. Maybe I know somewhere deep in my soul that love never lasts. And we've got to find other ways to make it alone, or keep a straight face. And I've always lived like this, keeping it comfortable. And up until now I had sworn to myself that I'm content with loneliness, because none of it was ever worth the risk. Well, you are the only This next song is called Last Hope. I don't even know myself at all. I thought I would be happy by now. But the more I try to push it, I realize gotta let go of control. Gotta let it it's just a sport, but it's enough to keep me going. When it's dark out, no one's around, it keeps glowing. Put your cell phones and lighters up high. Come on, Chicago!
I don't want to do that.
Well, then what do you want to do?
Living the dream. Don't even have to turn your head to keep up with friends.
Take the cup.
The old Ratzenberger pratfall.
John.
I can't think of anything better than pizza, ice cream, and egg in a cup.
Try blue. It's the new red.
Yeah, let's hope so. Because of lightsaber colors, you know. His keyboard is just ones and zeros. So they all served as captain for over 120 years, some as many as 140, meaning humans are now living way longer and have evolved to carry more adipose and less bone. Bigger arteries, maybe?
Regenerative food buffet.
Well, that's not replicators, that sounds like waste recycling. So it's a poop joke if you really think about it. Or, oh no, it's worse, isn't it? It's not waste recycling, is it? Love goggles, otherwise known as soft focus, or even better, a Vaseline lens. Wally's always so helpful.
Wally.
Politeness. Everywhere Wally goes, he changes the world. So much happens in the background of this movie. Defibrillator robot lighting test dummies on fire. Eve not trusting the carousel of compartments, or just the trash blowing in the wind behind Wally.
Whoa.
More flirting. Man, that is a thing I absolutely did at 8 or 9 years old to much older girls. That's a weird thing to leave in. Wally's alive. If you're wondering how the plant stayed alive in space, Eve is the extraterrestrial vegetation evaluator, meaning she'd have all the necessary tools to save a plant, even oxygen. Hugging. Oh, what? You didn't think there was going to be a robot dance scene in this movie giving you all the feels? Inverting thruster engines so they appear like fountains? And they both instantly died of heart attacks after 700 years of no human-to-human contact. Wait, where did all the babies...
Define hold down.
A social gathering at which lively dancing would take place.
Not exactly what you'd expect the captain to talk to Mother about, but she can't always be diverting ships to distress calls. Usually I'd leave an alien reference to stand alone, but I just think it's really cool that the star of the movie that was one of the inspirations for all ship computers got to be a ship's computer. Just warms the cockles of my heart.
Define dancing.
How about this motif from the first time Wally sees Eve flying, used again since that was the start of his infatuation with her. And now he's on Cloud Nebula 9.
No splashing, no diving.
And they both instantly died of electrocution when the robot fell in the pool. I'm just gonna start winning the moments that make us awe. Another subtitle I never knew about.
I insist you give me the plan.
Look, I have sympathy for Gladys if that creepypasta thing has any truth to it, but Otto is just meaner Hal.
A few laps around the ship's jogging track.
We have a jogging track?
Even Hal told Dave about the track.
On the axiom, you will survive.
I don't want to survive. I want to live.
There's your message. Only one little dude's been living around here. Nice. Yeah, it works for Ant-Man. Wallas are terrifying. Making new friends. Eve is finally choosing Wally over everything else, even when Wally's actually the bright one for once. Aw, and he kept the lighter with him because she was so enthralled by it. But out of all the new tech in this movie, the perpetual and eternal lighter fluid is what I want explained. We all know if you let that thing sit for 2 weeks, it's not gonna light.
Oh my. Clear.
Teamwork! It's like Titanic, but slower and probably softer because of the sub-Earth gravity.
John, get ready to have some kids!
Saving the babies. Oh man, that screech is heart-wrenching. She really loves that little dingus. Don't laugh at him. You don't laugh at the monkey using the tool. These are babies' first steps since they're all giant babies. Also, that reminds me that this is actually the second 2001 reference, which makes even more sense now. The same Johann Strauss piece was used for the Captain's Morning Rundown as the introduction to the space station. That one was a little more sarcastic than Strauss's other piece used, which is equally a step forward in evolution for them.
You are relieved of duty.
So now he's Manuel?
Operate Manuel.
More teamwork. Really joining the annals of sci-fi with a space-time stretchy-wetchy hyper-light warp jump. Oh my gosh, he never moved that whole time because Wally told him to stay. It's a happy ending version of Jurassic Bark, uncalled for, narrator. Uncalled for. And they all instantly died of sunburn, heat exhaustion, gravity crushing their feeble bones, you name it, after 700 years of vacation gravity, temperature control, and being indoors permanently. Fulfillment of that Chekhov's eye from earlier. And look, we appreciate the help, but you had to blow up his roof? Man, there's something in here about our jobs crushing the things we care about, but I'm gonna ignore that and say how sad it is to see Wally gone. His collections, the things that made it clear he was unique, now trash to him.
Wally! Wally!
Tears. Tears for Eve's loss, and more tears for Wally's cold dead eyes. So, I sort of like the idea that Wally's sentience is actually a malfunction. Something must have shorted out a long time ago, a lightning strike, or maybe as the last robot on Earth, he just evolved, which is really just trial and error anyway. But maybe Wally questions everything and feels emotions because he's not a perfect robot, much in the same way that humans are not perfect, nor are our emotions neat and tidy. So this little shock maybe shorts out whatever was inhibiting all of Wally's memories and he comes back.
Eva? Wally?
Okay. Now the tears.
Eva?
And he finally gets that requited love we all so desperately need.
Farming! You kids are gonna...
Okay, but these kids clearly only saw the first half of Idiocracy if what I think is in the cup is in that cup. And just in case you thought I was serious about them all dying, we get to see them thrive through our own history's different versions of recording history, from cave drawings to technical sketches and paintings. You're looking at a Kalima in your future, just saying. LED would have been more energy efficient, but it's cool. Wally literally can't help himself from helping others. We've seen a lot of future tech today, but I think it's time to bring it back to Earth because the future is here with Raycon wireless earbuds. Snoop Dogg knows, Melissa Etheridge knows, even Cardi B knows. And if this is part 2 of Everything Great About Wally. If you missed it, there's a link to part 1 up in the cards and in the description. WALL-E is one of the best Pixar movies to date, maybe ever. Every detail is stunning. It boggles the mind that this was made in 2008 because visually, pretty much everything holds up today. And every little piece is so well thought out. For obvious starters, the ship's autopilot is an actual wheel. Also, as one of the few characters who could be considered the villain, he's the only character without a human voice actor. I guess it depends on how you classify Ben Burtt's contributions to things, but Otto is voiced by Macintalk, and that has the effect of making him less sentient than the rest. He was really just following programming, so he's not even really a villain. Everything about Eve is fantastic, her cat-like movements when she laughs, her arc of directive-driven to Wally lover, but I specifically love how she spins her own arm around like a revolver after firing it. How about these movements from Mo, as if he's stretching and shaking off the shackles after leaving his predetermined path? And then we have Wally, one of the most emotive characters Pixar has ever created, and as we've already covered, he has like a couple dozen lines in the movie, and most are huh or whoa, but I bet you didn't notice that he doesn't have elbows, or something you've probably just never said aloud, he's just eyes. He doesn't have a mouth or nose or face, he's just a pair of binoculars. Even number 5 had a light mouth. Or maybe that wasn't until he started calling himself Johnny 5. Anyway, decisions like that astound me when I think about the writers agreeing in the planning stage. So Eve will just be a black screen with 2 blue circles, Otto a red light, And this guy is just a flashing light. And yet each one has so much personality. Speaking of details, the segment that's quickly becoming my favorite part of Part 2 videos, things I missed or got wrong from your comments under Part 1. Eve couldn't wait 2 more seconds to make sure Wally was okay, and that's why she blew up his roof. The mice are called Rem-E's in honor of Ratatouille's Remy. Otto inches closer to each captain in the photos as if his power and influence is growing. And last time you were all up in arms about not versus not, and I found that just a tad pedantic, but this time I don't know what I was thinking. Except that it was a typo in my script. I meant to write CO2, right? Maybe? I don't know. Plants produce oxygen, everyone knows that. Also, the 2 Strausses are different people. Order of words matters. The other should have been before Strauss. But one more comment from Philip Kramer, that's a fun theory he came up with about Wally's sentience and personality. That they're not an accident, and it was a form of evolution based on more and more efficient methods of completing his directive. You can read his full comment over there, it's pinned, but basically, understanding a piece of trash's function would aid Wally in cataloging things in a way that would make compaction easier, make his towers more stable, and by grouping things by functions, could save space in his memory. It's fun to think about, and he goes into more detail. That's just my quick synopsis. Okay, there are 2 other main things I want to talk about today. The first is something the movie does amazingly, better than most, and the other is something it dips its toe into but sort of flubs it a little from my perspective. But beyond just the absence of spoken words, the sheer lack of exposition is astounding. The last 2 acts have some information given from the captain, but his dialogue almost further sets Eve and Wally apart as 2 characters on their own adventure, as if not even we, the audience, can truly appreciate their relationship and understanding of one another. And that's the first thing I want to talk about. You probably didn't expect a love story from the mostly silent robot movie, but it's portrayed as this unstoppable force for Wally. I mean, love conquers all isn't anything new, but like, Wally was just doing his thing, right? Hauling cube, making cubes, and then the love of his life drops into his lap. He only goes into space to make sure Eve is okay, and then everything he does throughout the movie is to get closer to her and make sure her directive is fulfilled. In the process of chasing love, he has a positive impact on almost everyone he meets. Wally adds something new to the lives of everyone he comes across. A hand wave, a sense of fulfillment, freedom. The misfit robots that had no purpose because they couldn't complete their main functions are pivotal at the end in helping Wally and Eve fulfill their directive. The biggest one is that he brings humanity back. I made a joke about this being the dream, but oh my goodness, is it not really. Wally gave these people the gift of inconvenience, which can be a hard pill to swallow, but love is better than convenience. Much has been said about how Wally is a role reversal for humans and robots. Wally has individuality and personality, while the humans have none. They have no purpose and do what they're told. When Wally is rebooted, that was his death scene, and he was exactly like the humans. Get it? They were dead.
I want to live!
Humanity had been trapped in space for centuries, and at least during the few days that we view the Axiom, humans aren't questioning a thing. They're on their little blue lines to go wherever they take them. They seem to be allowed to make decisions, but multiple generations have just accepted this reality. Even when the captain speaks of the one thing I get to do on this ship, he's still literally on the course laid out for him by the ship. And then we have Wally back on Earth shaping his own world. He was still completing his task, but he had a personal life, things he enjoyed, and his entrance into the Axiom's world upended everything. So it ended up being a beautiful love story about 2 robots that saved humanity. The other thing I want to talk about is the framing of this story. This is the part that I've rewritten a few times because I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't think most of them are all that The understanding really is stay neutral and claims there isn't an intended message, which is totally fine. It's just that in doing so, I think he actually created one of the worst dystopias ever. And it wasn't really fixed by the end. More or less, by and large, gets a pass. You know, the giant corporation/government that has to be directly responsible for the Earth's toxicity. I know, I hear you, chicken, egg, supply, demand. If we didn't consume, they wouldn't create, but we know that's not the whole picture. Piles of trash aren't Earth's actual problem, and they never will be. Even if they were, the CEO/president, king? Fred Willard says it's the rising toxicity that forced humans to leave. But back to trash. Consumerism as a whole is a problem. It just has much more to do with the byproducts of manufacturing than the trash created. Even the waste products and runoff that end up in waterways are a bigger problem for humans than a mountain of tin cans. And the general idea of Star Trek, but commodified, is again a terrifying dystopia. Like it's post-scarcity, but one entity now owns everything? That's way grimmer than actual dystopian stories. We're just seeing the in-between time when company is waiting something out. Do they own the passengers? Did they have to sign their lives away? Either that or every single person on the Axiom, all 600,000 of them, are wealthy beyond our wildest imaginations, and billions of poor people are still on Earth somewhere. Corporations aren't generally known for giving away free 700-year-long stays in space. And their entire culture on the Axiom is shaped around advertising and selling things, so there's an exchange of money happening. But I'm getting away from myself again here. It's not like this is the first time consumerism has been lambasted, probably best by the original Dawn of the Dead. And I'll never say don't challenge it, so even if it's buried under, well, trash, there is still a solid message in WALL-E about taking care of our Earth. In Stanton's effort to maintain neutrality, I have to give him credit because there's no preachy message, which may have a larger impact in the long run. You don't want to live next to a mountain of trash, right? And a good place to start with younger generations is to teach them about their own personal responsibility. Hopefully it convinces them to use their voices and votes. And the thing is, you don't even need to accept the reality of climate change to not want this future. And even though I take issue with the "it's you looking at your screen that's the real problem" actually message, without the end of the world stuff, there is a fear that society and culture could So, look at the stars, hold hands, help those around you. I'm very good with all of that. It's also totally fine to ignore all that because the writers deliberately left it out so that we'd focus on the beautiful love story. And that's what I'll do when I watch it with Jude. If he learns to recycle and overthrow the corporatocracy in the process, all the better. So thanks for your patience on this little section. I'm working on a 60-second review for later in the week.
Enlightenment stands ready. I will commit this to memory.
Prepare for battle. It's in the bag.
The universe has long awaited my arrival. The headmaster thought to keep me away. Let the ruins of the academy teach his fate to others.
The pattern is complete!
Behold before you the illustrious, imperious, ingenious Archmage Carl! All can be known, and known by me. I was not content to wait eons. Dangerous magics bring me here, to now. The universe has long awaited my arrival.
Come on then, off you go.
I've been waiting a long time for this. Relatively.
The pattern is complete!
profundities are mine to ransack. A rich tradition.
Top is missing.
Rex Quash Rex.
Radiant's courier has been killed!
An incantation just remembered.
Arrives.
Tornado.
Denied! Your middle tower is under attack.
Well-gotten gains. Methinks you wanted that. Can't you see I'm under attack?
Regeneration.
Such abnegation. My totality eclipses the cosm.
Radiant's courier has been killed!
Denied!
So must be.
structures up. Here I am.
The ghost of Kara.
Yes!
From words of power.
Looking for me?
I've forgotten you already. Wrong from deep within. It's not time yet. Peculiar.
Giles Courier has been killed.
Setmite and Bullion's malevolent perturbation.
Denied.
Spherical sorcery. All things fall. The spell I well remember.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Gold for little toil.
No. No. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Wrong extractive monocles.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Sour when you need one.
Arcana known
Your
only to
middle
me.
tower is under attack.
From the great mystery. A spell I well remember.
The prize is mine.
Insipid. Oh, they'll rue the day they crossed me. I'm under attack.
Over here now.
Outside my mind, nothing is real.
No whining now.
The sun walks towards the
I'm in
dawn.
your debt.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire structures are fortified. Your bottom tower is under attack. I hate to nag, but watch out.
I return with nary a mark upon me.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Tornado! Learn to fly. Give it not a second thought. What my rocks hinder that.
Go feed my Your middle tower is under attack.
As I will.
Your middle tower has fallen. Ah, well, it's not the end of the world.
Sphere plucked from the arcanery. A charming hex.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Wet Cyclonus! With unerring proficiency. Crossfire and Rex Trionis! Not yet. Charming hex!
What a burn!
I'm not ready! Invoke the elements.
Over here!
Get lost.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
I'm gonna take what you're giving, 'cause I know you're willing to take me all the way. You got me right here, combustible, and I can't wait to finally explode. The big top tower is under attack. The reason I'm alive, with all the stuff alive in this universe inside. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. Some people like to talk, but I'm into doing what I feel like doing when I'm inspired. So if we take a walk down the beach tonight, I bet that we could light up the sky. The big, big bang, the reason I'm alive. When all the stars collide in this universe inside. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. Take it from me, I don't wanna be mummified. Sometimes I feel so isolated, I wanna die. And I'll take it from you if you got it. Every time, so baby, bring your body here, next to mine, next to mine. When I don't wanna dream, I just wanna live. So baby, let's not miss this thing. The big, big bang. The reason I'm alive. With all the time alive in this universe inside. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. The big, big bang. Whoa, babe. Whoa, babe. Whoa, babe.
Your top tower is under attack. This is great. Your top tower is under attack.
Witness.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
The witch crossfire. All that matters perishes with me.
Where's the party?
Everlasting, how you fast and never caution.
Claws of Cornelius.
You didn't think that I'd come back to life?
Not yet.
Your bottom tower is under attack!
Divine Scepter.
Tower is under attack! Hold on, your structures are fortified!
The river's flowing in denial, I can't fake it. I'm paranoid that all my thoughts are all my friends got blood in my chest.
Not yet. Clock straight up. Stores of chimera extracted corpse. I can't it's not time yet.
It's one of those days my world is crashing, everything looks on fire. It's one of those nights I'm dreaming, but I'm walking on a wire. Oh, these thoughts of battle creeping up my skin, burning from within like fire.
Dire structures are fortified!
The way I'm going faster if I want to. On a journey, on a mission, never let.
Well-gotten gains. It's not time.
No sleep, no rest. No sleep, no rest. Sparks in my brain. Am I insane? Trying to light the flame. Trying to light it.
It's not. Can't you see I'm under attack?
Creeping up my
It belongs to the element. All gear is selected. Words of power.
It's one of those nights I'm dreaming, but I'm walking on a wire.
I'm not ready. The heart of white goes cold snap. Not yet.
Tower is under attack!
Pluck spherical sorcery.
The prize is mine.
Clench my teeth, I need to end this conversation. Strike a match, cause now it's time to hear we say no more doubt, no more running from the half-truth. I'ma fight it, light and fire's not content.
Sensors are picking up something quite concerning. The enemy's top tower has been denied.
Creeping up my skin.
Enlightenment stands ready.
Your bottom tower is under attack!
One of those days my world is crashing, everything looks on fire. It's one of those nights I'm dreaming, but I'm walking on a wire.
Wet, squat, wet, rich tradition.
Magic can be but nothing compares to a fully bright dish.
middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Not good. Not good at all.
So much that I wanna say for the moments slips away.
Your middle tower is under attack. May I suggest caution?
My mind is my artillery.
Your middle tower
Your
is under
fate is
attack.
good. I follow. Can't you see I fear the
Hanging on tight, trying to keep it all tied together. Everybody says that nothing ever lasts forever. So I'm hanging on tight, trying to keep it all tied together. This heartbeat on and on and on and on and on and on. How do we make this heartbeat on?
one of my favorites.
Your top tower is under attack.
How do we make this heartbeat on? Hold me like a
Your top
photograph,
tower
wrapped
is
like
under
a piece
attack.
of glass.
Oh, do be careful.
The future's headed for the past. Pull this box that couldn't last.
Your top tower is under attack.
So hard to find this place. So hard to catch that flame. Now that
Radiant
you fell into
structures
me,
are
hit me like a
fortified.
melody.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Everybody says that nothing ever lasts forever. So I'm hanging on tight,
Your
trying to
top
keep it
tower
all
is under
tied
attack.
together. We make this heartbeat on and on and on and on and on and on. How do we
Your
make
top
this
tower is under
heartbeat
attack.
on and on and on and on and on and on? How do we make this heartbeat
Your
on
top
and
tower has
on?
fallen.
How do we make this heartbeat on and on? How do we make this heartbeat on?
That's not red thorns. Extractive monster.
Tower is under attack.
Squad.
Your top tower is under attack.
How do we make this heartbeat?
Augury abounds.
Everybody says
Pluck
that nothing
from
ever
the
lasts
arcane.
forever.
An incantation, just remember.
All tied together. How do we make this heartbeat on and on and on and on and on and on? How do we make this heartbeat on and on and on and on and on and on? How do we make this heartbeat on and on? How do we make this heartbeat on and on? How do we make this heartbeat on and on? Laying till my fingers hurt, right
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Feel gratitude.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Another while
I'm trying to break it.
Your
Searching for words and praying for signs. I struggle to find the rhythm and rhyme. Don't know how to say it. Don't know how to say it. That I'm losing my mind. Trying to find the perfect line. I think I'm running out of time. I need a miracle. A miracle. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Counting seconds, passing by. And I don't know when I'll be fine.
Well remembered. It's not time. That cyclonic music and Dolion's malevolent perturbation.
It's killing my soul.
Witness true sorcery
All you feel is shade. She never goes away.
from the great mystery. victory.
That always slams, I'm trying to break it. I'm trying to break it. Searching for words and praying for signs. I struggle to find the rhythm and rhyme. Don't know how to say it. Don't know how to say that I'm losing my mind. Trying to find the perfect line. I think I'm running out of time. I need a miracle, a miracle. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Counting seconds passing by. And I don't know when I'll be fine. I need a miracle, a miracle, a miracle.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Shit never goes the way that you plan. Success is a goal.
Can't you see I'm under attack? Cyber's perfected West Mag Electro. True hero thrives.
Your middle tower
Cause
is
I'm
under
losing
attack.
my mind. Trying to find the perfect line. I think I'm running out of time. I need a miracle.
Words of passion like Henry thrive.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind.
Witness true sorcery.
And I don't know when I'll be fine. I need a miracle, a miracle, a miracle. I need a miracle.
Exo Trisolar. Pain unknown only to me. A spell I well remember. I'm not ready. Draw. I slip from sight.
Another walks under the
I've been up, I've been down, seen the world from the ground, but I hear the drumming.
Your middle tower
Now
is
my
under
veins are
attack.
pumping. Scrape my knees, bruise my heart. Where you end, not where you start.
middle
I
tower
see
is
them
under attack.
running, 'cause they see me coming. I'm done with the noise, life is a pain, but I'll use my voice, my turn to sing. You know that I have been waiting for this. I have been fighting for this. Dream in my soul, and I won't let it go. You know that they try to keep me down, but I just get higher. They try to keep me down, but I just get higher. Broke my bones, tasted blood, burned my wings close to the sun, but I keep on flying. I'm too young for dying, 'cause there's a dream I can taste. Think it's time I break my chains and run with the giants. Life's more than rising. I'm done with the noise, life is the pain, but I'll use my voice, my turn to sing. You know that I have been waiting for this. I have been fighting for this. Dream in my soul, and I won't let it go. You know that they try to keep me down, but I just get higher.
Your middle tower is under attack.
They try to keep me down, but I just get higher.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your bottom barracks are under attack.
There's a dream in my soul, and I won't let it go.
Spirit.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your middle tower has fallen.
Sunstrike.
Your agent is under attack.
A charm.
So I can't slow it down, no. They write us off and say it's just another opinion.
Your agent is under attack. Victory!